Oh, some party last night. Oh, wait, what's this? Is there? Oh wait. Oh yeah, I remember I was doing a sword fight. Oh well. Oh, what's this stuck to my face? Oh yeah, Ritz cracker with peanut butter. Yum. Mmm. Oh, what's this? Bag of combos. Oh yeah, that's good too. Oh, okay. I gotta get up. Okay. Wait. Isn't there something I was supposed to be doing? Oh yeah. I gotta teach some people about it, the show. What was it again? I can't remember. Let me think about this for a second. Alright, so I remember what I'm supposed to talk to you guys about. Have you ever heard of My Fair Lady? No? Well, you should know it because you guys are doing it. My Fair Lady is a musical that is an adaptation from the play Pygmalion. It's set around the early to mid 1910 era, I guess you could say. And it had the Broadway show was originally in 1956. And it did have a movie adaptation, a film adaptation afterwards in 1964. So yeah, it's been around a while. I think I should get pants on. Probably be a good idea. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright guys, so I've had a chance to get myself energized, I've had some coffee, and I put on pants, I promise. So, the story of My Fair Lady, in case you don't already know, it's about a young flower girl with a Cockney accent, heavy Cockney accent, who is taking speech classes from a professor so that she can, pass as a high society kind of girl. You know, the rich folk, kind of, in that sense. And what's interesting about this is that the casting of these two, the two main characters, the girl is played by Julie Andrews, of course, talented, famous, you guys know the drill. And the other one, Rex Harrison. What's interesting about this man is that he, in the Broadway version, in the London version, and in the film, Rex Harrison played the same character in all of the productions with Broadway, London, and film, which I think is pretty awesome. So without giving too much of the plot away, what he does is he's training her in the ways of speech and acting and whatnot so that, again, she can pass as kind of a high society girl. Dresses differently, acts differently, talks differently, just that whole deal. She's not at all who she was when we first meet her at the beginning of the story. I'm not going to give too much of the story away because I want you guys to read it and be as surprised as the audience will be, unless of course they've seen it already. But that's just what it is. I really should change out of this. I'll be right back. There. That's a little better. Now, let's talk about the costumes for this thing because this is tricky. Now, it's set in London. In this time period, it's set in London and not America. So the fashion is going to be very different. First of all, the women always wore like dresses all the time, very long, form-fitting, and the men were always in suits. Very formal all the time because this is London we're talking about here. Now, as for our main character in the beginning of the movie, or at the beginning of the movie, show, whatever, she's not going to be in formal attire like that. She's not going to be in a dress. No, she wears what I would call, like, this just seems very Cinderella-y type of thing, where it kind of like a housemaid kind of dress attire. You know what I'm talking about? Kind of like just fabric, really, and layers upon layers on layers. So Of course, by the end of the whole thing, well, through her transformation, she does eventually start wearing those type of very formal dresses that you see everyone else wearing. My hair is an absolute wreck. I'll be right back. Ah, there we go. Now that I've actually brushed my hair and fixed my collar a bit, we can talk about its run on Broadway. Now, this is interesting. It was originally on Broadway in 1956, which I stated earlier. And it also had the 1964 movie. We know that. But what's interesting is that 20 years after its original premiere on Broadway, we have the Broadway renewal in 1976. I guess they wanted to make it a 20th anniversary, I guess? I'm not too sure. But here's another interesting thing about it. 3 years after that, in 1979, we have the London revival. Now, that's pretty cool. And then 2 years after that, in 81, we have another Broadway revival. 12 years after that, we have another, the final Broadway revival in 1993. So, let me say something here. It's really interesting because apparently the show does so well and people have so much interest in it that it keeps getting revived, but apparently not so much interest that it keeps it going, which is weird that it's had so many revivals because it's popular and everyone likes it, but it can't stay on either London or Broadway. Speaking of London, 8 years after the Broadway revival, we have the London revival in 2001. So, let's break it down. First in 1956, had the movie in 64, 76, 79, 81, 93, and 2001. 3 Broadway revivals after the initial Broadway premiere, and 2 London shows. That's pretty impressive. And I want to talk about the movie here for a second. In 1964, we had the movie, which I've said like 3 times now, and what's interesting is it did not star Julie Andrews, it starred Audrey Hepburn, but as I said before, the professor is still Rex Harrison, which is pretty cool. And there was supposed to be a movie, a remake, I guess, in 2008. Well, it was starting production in 2008, but it was scrapped in 2014, which is unfortunate because I think it could use with a remastered, well, not remastered, but it could use with a remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. I cannot talk today. Up next, I think I'm going to talk about the awards really quick, but I think I should put on a tie. What do you think? Be right back. There we go. I think this goes well with my outfit, wouldn't you say? Now, I must mention the fact that this show has been nominated for many, many awards. Before I talk about the actual Tony Awards, it has been nominated for so many awards both on Broadway and London ever since its premiere back in '56. It has just been nominated for so many, won quite a bit of them, and about the Tony Awards, it has won 5 Tony Awards and not once for the duplicate reason. I think that's just outstanding. It even was nominated for the Tony for Best Revival, but unfortunately it did not win, but hey, it was nominated, which is a feat in itself. Well, I think I've given you enough information. Thank you all for having me here today so I could inform you on this show. I hope you guys do it justice, and if you excuse me, I'm late for tea.